A short hike has been on my radar for far too long, but thankfully, as of the making of this video, it's available to play on Game Pass, and I wasn't wasting any time. We're taking a look on Xbox Series S. This review will be spoiler free. We cover a new game every single week, so if you end up liking the video, do consider subscribing, it really does help us out. Now, let's get a move on, and let you know if a short hike is worth your time. If I had to pick the closest gaming experience to a short hike, I'd go for the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, this was that good. The gameplay mechanics here are mostly simple, but there's a lot of variety from collecting shells to searching for treasure to fishing to racing to playing beach stickball. The central core of the game is exploring the island, talking to folk, taking part in their day or helping them out, but there's always that looming goal: climb the mountain. We're also borrowing from New Zelda the idea that you can just go for your goal straight away. It'll be hard, but you can climb the mountain without any golden feathers, the same way you could kill Ganon with a mop. Golden feathers are the main upgrade path in the game. These increase your stamina and can be bought or found. To buy things you need money, and to get money you need to explore. I thought that having to look around for chests full of money would annoy me, but the experience is compact and the island feels like a living, breathing place that I would have honestly been happy just to explore for exploration's sake. The island is very tightly designed with plenty of great landmarks, and as you climb the mountain your stamina management changes, requiring you to visit hot springs or campfires to recharge. There's also an insane amount of freedom, not a pixel here can't be explored, and you can get some insane heights. I also adored the lack of a visual map. You do get a compass and signposts, but for the most part you have to actively engage with the space and learn how everything ties together. On top of this, you also have a handful of abilities to aid exploration. A shovel to dig up goodies, a pickaxe to open up shortcuts, and a bucket to plant springy flowers, just to name a few. Some of these extras are paramount into getting you up the mountain without golden feathers, but you have to venture off the beaten path to find them. Controls are overall very simple, and in the inventory menu they are explained for each item. Moving Claire around is just a joy, especially gliding. I was always getting distracted by something in the distance, and getting there was always a bit of fun in of itself. Some characters will even have challenges or quests for you, and it always leads to a nice reward. Everything in this game is solving multiple solutions in one way or another, and I'm simply floored. This experience is very compact, but incredibly tightly designed, and just an absolute joy to play. I had a smile on my face for the entire runtime. Everything surrounds that central pillar of exploration, and it's just all achieved marvellously. The mechanics are simple, but the variety is great, and the feeling of just playing the game is simply soothing to the soul. This is an easy 5 out of 5. A short hike has a handful of art direction options. You can adjust pixel size, and everything looks great. We decided to play on minimum pixel size just because it makes for a nicer video. With that said, the game looks excellent in all options. It's clear that care was put in here rather than it just being a filter option. This overall is an artistic dream. Every element is wonderful. Let's start with the look of the world. The island manages to encompass a wide variety of environments: beaches, forests, lakes, graveyards, ships, and the snowy peaks. And each place manages to be visually distinct, yet feel connected to the rest of the world. I love the rainy sadness of the graveyard and the cozy campfires in the snowy regions. The top of the mountain is a gorgeous sight, but we're not going to spoil that here. Each region also has a distinct piece of music to complement this, and composer Mark Sparling has done an excellent job. This OST is purely divine and bolsters the entire game. It's soothing, hopeful, determined and solemn all rolled into one, and I couldn't get enough. The supporting sound design is also fantastic. Waves crash with great crispness, campfires crackle, and footsteps have a wonderfully soothing pitter-patter. Animations are also great, characters have a great energy about them, and even speech bubble animation is used to convey emotion and conversation pace, as there is no spoken dialogue. I love how coins fly out of chests and clink when you collect them, or how gusts of wind and wing trails are visualised. Even the depth effect is wonderful. keeping the background clear yet mysterious and encouraging you to go and see what's going on over there. There's also a lot of great gameplay enforced art direction, especially with the stamina. When you run out of stamina, your shirt will change colour, but as you use each feather, they will fall off into the wind. It's a great small detail because it means that you can look at your character to know how much stamina you have left, rather than having to keep one eye on the UI in the bottom left corner. UI design overall is simple, it's stylized but retains readability, and has some very charming descriptions for items. This is art direction firing on all cylinders, and easily merits the full 5 out of 5. A Short Hike is a relatively simple story, but the breadth of the character interactions and the ultimate ending make it somewhat really special. We all know that the journey is more important than the destination, but in this case, both are equally touching. You play as Claire, a bird who has been sent to live with her aunt, and who is awaiting an important phone call. Unfortunately, the cabin has no reception, and so if Claire wants to make that call, she needs to climb the mountain. On your journey, you'll encounter plenty of islanders, and each has their own day that you can be a part of. Each and every character interaction in the game had me feeling something, and a few interactions even had me laughing out loud. In such a short time, plenty of characters left a great impression, from the racing rivals being kind to each other, to a cheeky person trying to make enough to fund their tuition, to the creators of the best sport yet created, Beach Stick Ball. Some characters even have progression in their stories, like this climbing duo that teaches you to climb, and then you see them later supporting each other up the mountain. The ending itself is a very real moment. I'll be honest, I'd gotten so invested in the islanders that I'd actually forgotten about the phone call, but when I finally made it, the reality hit in what was ultimately a very well-handled conversation with some pretty deep themes. Once you return home, you'll also get a dynamic ending. Claire will talk about what she did during your playthrough, and that's that. It's a great way to make your choices feel like they had a lasting effect on Claire, and that these characters will continue to exist outside of the scope of the game. Overall, this whole narrative just really spoke to me, and it easily gets the full 5 out of 5. A Short Hike is, as the name implies, a compact content offering, but there is absolutely no filler here. The game has everything it needs to deliver a great experience, and not a mechanic more. It's also technically sound to boot. We experienced no bugs whilst playing. Settings keep to the mantra, they are limited, but everything that is needed is here. You can adjust pixel size. Here's minimum, tiny and sharp, small and tasty, medium rare, and finally, big and crunchy. Great naming there. There are audio sliders for master, music, sound effects, and ambience volume. Controls can be viewed, but not changed. Usually, I'd come down super hard on this, but the controls in A Short Hike are incredibly simple, all being one button press. This control scheme is well thought out and incredibly accessible. There are also a handful of language options. Finally, there is a wonderful personal message. Thank you, I am having a great day. I should mention that there are no subtitle options, but once again, they're not really needed here. Subtitles are large, colour-coded, and don't progress until you've hit the button. There was a lot of care taken to make the base game really accessible without the need to dig into any menus to tweak settings. You just boot up and go. So overall, you're getting a technically sound content package that, whilst compact, offers a lot of variety and has no fluff. You're also getting a nice array of settings, and anything that could be an issue has been factored into the game's base design. I think you know where this is going. 5 out of 5. It took me around 90 minutes to complete A Short Hike. This is a great length. I managed to get really engrossed into the world, and in the end, the welcome was not overstayed. If you're going to try and do everything, you're going to be looking at 3 to 4 hours, which is still a fantastic length. Even 100%ing respects your time. You can save and quit at any time, so if you do intend to break up the game, you very easily can. A Short Hike simply has an incredible respect for your time. Hard drive footprint is also tiny, clocking in at just shy of 700 megabytes. There is a surprising amount crammed into this tiny install, and thankfully, if you have slow internet, a data cap, or limited hard drive space, you don't need to worry at all with this game. We've got a short and sweet commitment section for a short and sweet game. A Short Hike scores the full 5 out of 5 on our commitment scale. It has been a long while since a game has joined the 25 point club, but but a short hike absolutely deserves it. This was such a wonderful experience that deserves every bit of praise it has received. It's so compact, but every single element had heart and soul poured in, and simply put, it feels like art for art's sake. If this isn't worth your time, I don't know what is. You owe it to yourself to set aside a few hours and just get lost in this world, because it is pure magic.